Somewhere over that rainbow, come fly with me. I have to admit, I've done some crazy things in life and been involved in some weird stuff. Almost all of it tremendously fun. This is another example. The failed yet fabled Land of Oz will once again throw open the Emerald Gates this June, every June, offering a rare opportunity to relive a uniquely 1970s experience where folks can once again skip merrily down the yellow brick road with sweet Dorothy Gay. Land of Oz was a Beech Mountain summer attraction developed in 1970 by Grover Robbins, whose nearby Tweetsie Railroad is still going strong. An immediate hit, 4,000 eager tourists were on hand as Debbie Reynolds, accompanied by her daughter, Carrie Fisher, cut the opening day ribbon. Carrie Fisher had not yet starred in Star Wars. The Oz adventure began with a cyclonic recreation in a tidy clapboard farmhouse with Dorothy and her hand puppet Toto. When parkgoers exited, the dwelling appeared to lie shattered against the naturally formed rocks and pines, two legs and striped stockings protruding from the foundation. On their whimsical trek down the winding yellow brick road, Dorothy and her companions encountered a warren of grotesque faces carved into native trees, towering above knee-high psychedelic painted mushrooms. Colorful abodes dot the way forward, each inhabited by the familiar 1939 MGM movie characters performing a pre-recorded song and dance number. A tin structure jutting from the mountainous terrain, Scarecrow's summer home nestled in a wooded glen. The Cowardly Lion's cave led the way to the druid castle of the Wicked Witch of the West. Then it was onward to the Emerald City for a stage show, capped off with a rendition of Over the Rainbow. Gondolas rigged to resemble hot air balloons delivered patrons back to the base of the mountain, where on display in the museum was one of Judy Garland's actual costumes from The Wizard of Oz. In 1975, that iconic gingham dress was stolen during an act of arson and vandalism that laid waste to the park's infrastructure, leaving the public with an impression that the attraction would be closed for good. Prior to the grand reopening of the Land of Oz in May of 1977, my 19-year-old self was hired to embark on a novel PR tour where I would portray the Scarecrow and put on a puppet show in shopping mall courtyards located anywhere within a 3-hour radius of the park. Only 2 actors were needed to set up and go, so I enlisted a classmate from Catawba College, Cindy Rory, for the role of Dorothy. In that signature flouncy pinafore, ruby slippers, and ponytailed black wig, a more quintessential Dorothy there will never be. Children's eyes were bedazzled by the sight of her. The musical program, puppets, and set were created by Jerry Halliday, who went on to Las Vegas fame with a, quote, wickedly inappropriate adult puppet show, close quote. For rehearsals, they booked Cindy, myself, and Jerry into a grand hotel where we were the only guests. It was something akin to a Stephen King novel. State law was, if a hotel was open, their restaurant had to be as well. So a retinue arrived every morning just to serve the 3 of us for the few days that we were there. Kids adored the show Jerry Halliday choreographed and composed. Dorothy and I would begin with dialogue in front of what resembled an enormous toy chest that served as the staging area for wizard versus witch puppetry. Cindy and I were fortunate to perform on one of the last episodes of WFMY's legendary Old Rebel show. Delighted to run across George Old Rebel Perry at charity events, muscular dystrophy camp, and shopping center openings that we attended as well. Adjusted for inflation, I was banking around $3,000 a week. Problem was, every mall resembled the one we just left. It became somewhat maddening, this endless succession of casual corners, magic pans, nut huts, J. Riggins, and Mr. Dunderbox, where mind-numbing music piped into the atmosphere, intermingled incoherently with the sound of sloshing waterfalls, garish fluorescent lamps bombarding the senses from every direction, that sickening sweet aroma from the Great American Cookie Company, courtyards augmented by 2-story high artificial plants because real trees would rather commit suicide than live like this. Land of Oz was shuttered in 1980, a victim of gasoline shortages and price shocks that sent the short-trip vacation industry into a tailspin. A parcel was developed into condos, but a large portion of the attraction still exists despite urban plunderers making off with souvenirs. Dorothy's house is where it always was, along with most of the yellow brick road and the characters' homes along that golden pathway. So check out landofoznc.com and find out what's going on this summer or maybe next summer. You might want to make a trip out there. Hey, if you enjoyed this, would you push the like button and maybe consider subscribing to my channel? I'm going to have a lot more content coming. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks.